What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another full rebuild, a realistic rebuild of the Philadelphia Eagles. We recently enough did a no re-signing one, but that was with Waddle anyways. You know, we didn't get guys like Goddard. I believe we had to let, Fletcher Cox go, all the linemen, everyone that needed a contract, of course, because of the challenge, we had to let go. So it really wasn't a realistic rebuild, and I believe that's kind of like the only team we haven't really done, I suppose, the Seahawks, but didn't really do that much in the offseason to like really add or change the team up that much, whereas the Eagles, they did. Obviously, they added a lot to their wide receiving group, and mainly adding, guys like Steven Nelson to the cornerback group is really big. Like Jacoby Stevens was a decent pickup. There's some decent moves. Landon Dickerson was a good pickup for the offensive line. Gainwell, they did a pretty decent job. Didn't feel like they loaded up on offense enough, but if the offensive line is healthy and playing to their actual potential, they should be decent. But of course, the defense for Philadelphia is really what's going to be able to carry them, if at all, to the postseason. But that's where we come in to try and fix that. The Eagles actually not a bad team for a Madden rebuild like franchise either. You have like one good wide receiver. You can make the argument for Reagor, but he hasn't really fully developed. I know there's a lot of fan favorites for the Eagles like Fulgham and I believe Greg Ward. I did let go of Greg Ward here, but you got to hear me out. He's like 25, 26, low 70s. It's just simply put, he's just not going to work out in Madden, simply put. Zach Ertz, I would love to see the Packers go for someone like Zach Ertz, but I know the money's not right, and you have someone similar to him already, like Tanyan, but I actually really do like Zach Ertz a lot, but I know the money situations, if they could get rid of him clear, free and clear, they would get rid of him ASAP. As far as Landon Dickerson goes, I did give him star because he was actually ranked pretty highly and comped to some really good pros. I do not know the strength. Once again, this isn't my roster. I actually downloaded a new one with a little bit more depth at rookies, and I did have to make Jacoby Stevens myself, in fairness, but it was like 14,000 downloads. It was kind of recent. Just look it up, and you guys always ask me. It's not that hard, guys. Okay, you just look up updated roster or rookie roster, and it'll be one of the higher downloaded ones. You just search by downloads and look at the date. As long as it's sometime in like May or June, it should be pretty good. Oh yeah, that strength rating is pretty bad. I'm gonna give him something more like 93. He is still a center after all, but he seems like he's very, very strong from what I can see. And then, of course, as far as the defense goes, they do have a lot of really good pieces, but it really comes down to how healthy their DBs can stay. As always, that's the biggest question in Philadelphia, is just injury concerns in general, but DBs should be decent, at least cornerbacks. I'd like to think in Philadelphia would be all right. Slay had a pretty good season. Steven Nelson at one point in time was actually really good for the Steelers, and he was all right for the Chiefs. Maddox was like viewed as one of their best corners. Finally gets to fit back in the slot, I would assume. And then as far as the D-line, definitely has dropped overall over the years, but obviously Fletcher Cox still one of the best, if not the best, pure DT in the league. And then coverage linebackers. I know the pain, Philly fans. I know the pain. And of course, for Jacoby Stevens starting, there's a difference between reality and realism. The reality of things is, if Alex Singleton's ceiling is like a 74 overall for another 5 years, because that's realistically what he would be if he started here for us, he just wouldn't start in real life. They would go with the guy that actually has some potential. Jacoby Stevens actually has a chance for us, so that's who I'm going to start with. And of course, at the end of the day, if we find better linebackers or it doesn't really work out, he could always just move to strong safety or something like that. Obviously, they can't really decide, or he can't really even decide what position he wants to play, but I assume the Eagles have something better. I'm only going to go with 4 wins here, by the way, because this division, it's not easy, because all the teams are kind of similarly built in the way that like all the talent levels are very close, outside of maybe the Cowboys, but they've been slacking lately too, and they've had injury concerns. But the NFC East is actually, they got a couple of tough schedules here and there, so I'm only going to give them a 4-win projection, at least get myself some coach XP no matter what. But yeah, as far as, this could be nice. As far as rebuilds go, we got to be getting close to like every single one possible. Maybe a Chargers one, just because I haven't done one of them in like literally almost 12 months. And I want to kind of see with how good their roster is. Can we build a dynasty rather than can we just make them all right? Because obviously they're really good already. But yeah, if you guys have been enjoying the rebuilds and you enjoyed them all year, you're still enjoying the content, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're new. We're obviously going to do a ton more Madden until Madden 22 comes out, and then obviously even more when that happens. And I was thinking about changing Reagor up because I kind of want that dev up, you know what I mean? Also, speaking of wide receivers, Devonte Smith, I actually made him the exact ratings that they gave him. Obviously, he has a little bit extra ratings now because he's upgraded a few times since this has started, but very similar to what they had. I think I had to bump his awareness a little bit, though, because with the ratings they had, I had to put him, he would have been at like a 74 overall, I believe, so there's a little bit of a yikes. And there goes Jalen Reagor. Now we have a star development. Maybe we have our wide receivers. Maybe they're all ready. I was starting to think maybe I didn't give the credit that was deserved to the Eagles. It was like a 2-1 start. We've been on a bit of a slide since. Jason Peters, of course, guy just won't be here next season. In real life, Marquise Goodwin might still have some in the tank, but for us, he's just going to be too low over and overall with the regression. Got to take a look at the Boston Scott contract. I feel like they added a couple of years to his contract. Cameron Johnston, maybe not terrible, but we got to think about Anthony Harris, who I do not know the contract they signed him to. So it's a 1-year deal worth about $5 million. I don't hate Anthony Harris here, but I feel like a 4-year deal is kind of rough. It's a 1-year $5. I feel like realistically the contract could be like a 2-year $14, and that would be obviously a pretty big increase, especially for a league that has been very, very harsh on safeties. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign him to what he wants, and I'm just going to edit it down to a 2-year $14, maybe make it like a 2-year $14 with a $9 million guarantee. I think that's pretty fair. And then for Zach Ertz, I feel like, in real life you have a chance. In game, there's just no chance. Damn it, we actually were on such a slide, and we finally won our first game in so long, and it was a big one against the Packers, but they're saying he needs more time, so he's not going to get the start dev. I kind of want to take a look at the numbers, and I don't want to necessarily force it, but, spoiler alert, we suck. I've got to force it. He outplayed Rodgers was it in Green Bay? If it was in Green Bay, I'm forcing it. I don't know. I'm going to take a look. Oh, we have to. I'm sorry. If you guys hate it, sue me. And the thing is, with our draft pick, I still may look to replace Jalen Hurts. At the end of the day, he didn't really look super impressive in his debut with the Eagles. And here, I can't imagine he's looking very good if he's obviously, leading the team to the dirt. But yeah, I have to force that. 51-34, no picks, 4 touchdowns, 233 yards, outperforming Rodgers in his home. In the cold. I have to. I have no choice. I'm sorry. If you hate it, sue me. Please don't. Yeah, Steven Nelson. It doesn't really matter. It's like a 1-year deal anyways. All right, head to the playoffs, which we already know we're not in. Do we have the number 1 overall pick? We'll find out. But here is what the season looked like. I thought for a while, 2-1. I'm not saying that these are the toughest teams, but, Washington, they've got a chance, especially a division rival, and then Cincy, they've got potential on offense, obviously, and it just went really poorly since then. Let's take a look at the stats. So, of course, if Jalen Hurts somehow finds a way to get a superstar, I'll regress him back to star, but it does not look that is going to be the case. Miles Sanders was rough receiving. Jalen Reagor was really good with the touchdowns. I don't know if that's enough to get him to superstar. Devonta, he was a rookie, but I'd expect better from him here, especially as the true number 1. Jordan Mailata, I don't even know if he's actually the starter on here, but he shouldn't be anytime soon for us. Jacoby and Davian Taylor may both go to star, which is kind of why I started the youngsters. Pass rush was pretty atrocious. I suppose it wasn't that bad, actually, 6.5. I'm thinking of all these teams that have these, double-digit sack gods, which that's cool and all, but doesn't always tell the full tale of the tape. Once again, I always interject that I'm a Packers fan. Zadarius Smith had a decent year, but his double-digit sacks were a little inflated. He got the majority of them, I believe, in Week 17, if not like 25% of his sacks on the season in that game alone. So, just saying, you never know. You never know. But as far as any awards won goes, Micah Parsons and Fields, Reagor was the best wide receiver in the entire league, apparently. I know those touchdowns are nice, but really? Okay. Philly fans got to be feeling a lot better about that one. The Saints and the Browns, and the winner of this one is the Saints. As far as dev-ups go, once again, maybe Reagor, which he does not go up in dev. Doesn't really shock me because the yards were bad, but it would have been nice. Imagine having 2 superstar wide receivers that are young over here in Philadelphia. That'd be insane. Stevens and Taylor both did not go up in dev. That is harsh, but once again, I am not in the business of forcing that dev. He was already star. I really did not. I mean, his overall reflects it, but I did not think he was going to be star. And realistically, that's pretty much it. So time to go to the offseason and see what we can do. And Dallas Goedert may need a contract right here. Let me see if I can find someone similar to him. And like, I guess what was Hunter Henry's contract in real life? I'm just gonna sign him to something similar, a little bit less because obviously you're signing in-house rather than a free market. So whatever Hunter Henry is, I'm going to give him like a little bit less. Or maybe Johnny, whoever got him paid more. So Hunter Henry got a 3-year 37. I'd say a 4-year, so that's about what, 12 and a half. So a 4-year 45 maybe, with majority of it guaranteed. I think that's pretty fair. That makes him one of the highest paid, I'd imagine. I think that's pretty fair. A 4-year 45 with 30 mil guaranteed. That seems about right. Especially an in-house signing. I mean, 10 mil plus per year sounds about fair. And as far as these go, unlucky. And we're broke. Let's see if there's anyone we can get rid of to save some money. How can this team be that broke when they're paying like a rookie quarterback contract? Hargrave. This is where I might use my real-life option here. Which, to be fair, I mean, I did hurt us by signing Goedert now rather than later anyways, and I could have signed him for cheaper if I just waited. So, giving the cut to Hargrave based on his real-life numbers rather than, a year behind technically, when, it's technically a year forward, I think is fair. Damn, this mofo Hargrave is just like right to the cap. He's just sucking the cap dry and just like, mother, what? It's not looking great around here, though, I will say. Barnett, 10 mil. What was his, year like? If it was under 5. So he would be gone in real life. I can't allow him to exist. I'm sorry, he's gone. So Kelsey would probably be the same, but, I'll allow it. Brandon Graham. I think we just need new pass rush. We can't do it. He's one of our best. I can't do it. And he's got history here. It's just illegal. If we find someone better, maybe, but as of right now, I don't know if I like it. Also, Steven Nelson would be a 1-year deal, so I'm just going to sign. I'm going to say a 1-year 7. There's a lot of adjustments going on, all right? A 3-year base, 4-year guarantee. Not bad for a guy that's, not quite as good as, guys like Patrick Peterson who got, quite a bit more. But at the end of the day, corners do get paid quite a bit, even if they're, lower end, because corners that are good are hard to find. See if we can find any other player to potentially release to save some cap, because I'm not a huge fan. Where is all the money going? So Goedert, obviously, fair enough. He's a decent overall. Young, Brooks. So it is the core guys outside of Hargrave. And why is it saying that Steven's making so damn much? What did I do wrong here? Hey, I said 4 for the signing, 3 for the base. It's pretty simple. So if we can find a replacement for Graham, that's a lot of savings. Hargrave, we're just stuck with. Don't know why they thought that was a good idea to sign him. Even at the time of signing, he wasn't that valuable. He was decent, but he wasn't what, 13 mil a year or so? That's kind of harsh. But we should have saved some money. I don't know if I'm actually going to spend any of it anyways. Oh, we do not have anything to spend anyways. Trying to think, maybe some sort of cheap safety. Although we could, once again, take a risk on a pass rusher. I think pass rush should be one of our biggest things to draft. But I do have to admit, if the Philadelphia Eagles are sitting at pick 1 and their quarterback is Jalen Hurts, who just performed very poorly, some Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater stuff, I'm thinking they're going to be drafting quarterbacks. So, sit tight. The real question is, do we even have number 1? Because I don't know. We did not obviously offer anyone because we're broke. Let's take a look if we actually have pick 1. We have pick 1 and 3. Oh, I hate the way EA does this because Miami just isn't going to be pick 3. Also, how do we have pick 3 in the second round when we have... Oh, wait. Are we pick 3 and Miami was pick 1? What? I didn't even... How? Okay, so this just isn't realistic. I have to trade this pick with somebody that's I don't know, pick 19 or something. There's just no way Miami is going to be pick 1. At worst, barely in the top 10. So I'm going to say, you know what? Just to be fair, we're going to trade this for pick 12. Are you serious? Pick 1 from Miami. So obviously we're not going to have the quarterback option. The Jets are going to get a lot richer, which I don't mind, obviously. It is what it is. Hell, even the Colts trade we got with Carson Wentz is higher than expected. Pick 1 for 12. That seems about fair, I think. I think at very worst, the Dolphins would be pick 12, right? Like, this is ridiculous. Pick 1. No way Miami's going pick 1. In that division, I mean, it's not the easiest division. I could see a top 10, but definitely not pick 1. There's no way. There's just no way. And as you can see here, it is not a pretty sight. Of course, wide receiver / DB Charlie Ferguson, which I really hope they remove that because it's just so stupid. Heisman winner. Maybe he's the guy, but I do not see anything about a quarterback just yet. Damn it, he's a wide receiver. I was really hoping he would have been a corner, and especially at 6'5". Don't get me wrong, he probably is going to be a talent and a half, but that is not what I was looking for at all. I really think a corner would be the biggest need outside of quarterback. All right, so one last look at the team before we go into the draft officially. The biggest need really on offense would maybe be a lineman, just because we have some aging pieces, especially left tackle Mailata, who's just been awful. Can we get rid of him? But it seems like we can get rid of him anytime we want. Quarterback is one of the bigger issues as well. However, looking at the talent pool, definitely not going to be filling that today. Linebackers, there's a couple of okay ones. Corner is one of the biggest needs as well. I think we have some prospects that can fix a lot of the issues. The question is, how will the draft shake out or shape up? And, of course, what are we going to do with this pick 3? As there's really not anyone there that we should be going for. These are the quarterbacks, obviously. Just absolutely awful. But Cameron Bailey looks pretty decent. It'd be one of my top picks. But this guy, how do you pass up on Crisp? Pick 17 I'm willing to go to at the latest to grab him. So I think that might just be what I do right out the gate. Maybe from pick 3 to 17 we can land 2 first rounds. Maybe there's a team there that actually has 2 first rounds. I don't know, though. I'd imagine at best there's one other team that has 2 first-round picks similar to us. Oh, we have pick 12. Why do we have Seattle's pick 12, though? Oh, yeah, I forgot. 3 is our own. 12 is... never mind. So, yeah, that's not bad. Ooh, the Jaguars. That's the team we're trading with. We have to. All right, so we got the pick. The real question is, what are the Jaguars going to take at number 3? And they take a DT. The guy did look really good. He's like, I think, was it a 4.73? Maybe that was one of the other guys we had. But we have now picked 12, 14, and 19, I believe. We might already have more. No, I think that might be what we have. But there's also, I mean, I wish we didn't go for Goddard because look at this guy, Sheldon Franklin. Unfortunately, is not going to be our pick, though, because we just can't. Some really solid wide receivers. Once again, we've seen that the guys we have are very capable of what we need them to do. Sidney Clark looks decent, but he's just not my guy. Is our corner gone? Okay, I was about to say, I do not know if there's a better pick here for us than Mr. Keenan Crisp. As you can see, there's a couple of other players that we probably need to move up. Like DT is one of the bigger needs. So I don't see us trading down any of these picks. I think we're going to select someone from each one. Crip? Okay, that's a different conversation. Crisp is a must grab, and I'm going to grab him. And oh my, I didn't think he was that much of a must grab. Oh, he's good. He is good. I was expecting, decent speed, decent excel, decent. He's, depending on the dev, I mean, I don't want to go back into my old habits of, is he the best we've ever seen? But, I mean, from what I've seen this Madden, the conversations to be had, right? The conversations there. Ryan Franklin, we could use a guard. That's one of the bigger needs going forward is just a lineman in general. He is built only as a guard, though. Do you just take Ryan Franklin and call it a day? DT's also big of a need. This is the guy that's 4.37 or 4.73. You also have Colbert, who would probably be my higher pick just because you at least see the block shedding there. Ryan Franklin, I think, is going to be my choice. Not bad, but once again, normal dev, which really does suck. And we're going to keep going until one of the DTs goes. Please don't go until 19. One more pick without a DT, and we're working. Colbert's there. He's got to be our choice. The DT, Colbert, is going to be my decision. Eric Colbert, welcome to the team. 77 overall, normal. Can't be mad with it. We have picked 1 overall and 3 based on true talent. What a draft, obviously, so far. And I think it may be time to trade up for the pass rusher, unless that was the guy, which I don't know them all by heart. The Panthers look like they may have just gotten their Luke Kuechly back for themselves. That guy is hard to pass on. I think we're trading into the first round with 4 first-round draft picks. Hey, we helped you out. New York, don't let me down. We got to go for this guy. It's one of the biggest needs, if not the biggest need now remaining after our draft picks we already made. All right, we had to give up a future 6 as well. They kind of made out with a decent trade here. They get 35 and 67 with a 6 next year for 23 this and 151. And, of course, with 23, unless there's a linebacker there, which, there is. Oh, is this the guy they mentioned, too? That is. They said he was bad, though. Oh, man. Whether he's bad or not, that 40 is tough to beat. Whereas Allen here is kind of just like a take a random shot in the dark. I can't trade up again, though. So they're both early seconds. Now we're going to go with Allen. We have to. 76 overall normal is just the bigger need, and he looks good. Looks like a good decision already. I'm liking it. Can't go wrong with it. Whether the other guy's better or not, can't go wrong with Allen. Good draft, man. Really good draft. Gilchrist finally goes. You don't know where the DT we had, though, would have went because, our guy could be better. Don't know. Ooh, the Packers with a questionable one. And, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers land basically another Devin Bush, Shazier type. Love it. Kind of love it. And is our safety still there? He is. Quinton McNeil. Got to go for him. We need a safety. Ooh, actually, let's trade down a little bit. That would have been a bit of a sell. We could still probably get like a 3rd here, maybe a 4th at worst. We got to trade down and get something more. Oh, look at the Ravens trying to tempt me. Don't you damn dare. Packers as well. A couple of first-round offers. I want like 28, and if you want to give me like a late 3rd, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? 3rd, 28 in the 1st would be like 56 in the 2nd. I keep throwing these like very fair trade offers out, and every team's just like, nah, a little bit more. That one valued us as 15 higher than them. The trade we previously gave was like 40 points higher, and it barely made it. The scams, man, I'm telling you. It's not my fault they took a bad player. That has nothing to do with the trade value, right? Please tell me our safety's there, because if he is, that's a win. Man, this draft has gone pretty well. Quinton McNeil, please be hidden. Normal. Yikes. He's not even as close as good as I thought he was going to be, dude. Oh, man. He's like Jacoby Stevens, but slower and not as big. But looking like a potential future starter, and that's how desperate we are. But hey, at least we landed that absolutely insane looking corner. Maybe if Beckford's there, we take him, but this could just be a trade down for the rest of this thing. Trade down as much as we can until each of our picks kind of lines up. Oscar Beckford, yeah, he's worth taking. Why not? 70 overall, normal. Got a little misled by that power move. It wasn't really that great. He's an okay pick for a late 3rd. And then with this pick, I may reach for the linebacker. He didn't really look super great, but he is very athletic. Obviously, that's kind of what we need. It's kind of the route we've been going, and he is still there. Mr. Landon Dawkins, what a sick name as well. They love that name around here. We're going to go for it. 64 overall normal, and yeah, that's a bit of a yikes. Okay, we're falling apart here a little bit. We're going to go for best available, and if it doesn't look great, we're going to just trade down. Martin Holloman, wide receiver, normal. Devonte Smith type as well. Faster than him. Really just built just like Devonte, to be honest, but, gets to work with him. So he should know exactly how to utilize the same type of body, right? So should be able to clone himself on that guy, basically, which would be pretty sick. And then this guy, the value's there. The safety, if he was younger, maybe. Let's trade this down for next year. If we can get like a 5th or a 4th, that'd be sick. Seattle's willing to give me a 5th and a 7th next year. At least, if they're late 5th, I'm getting that 7th back. So I'm at least equaling the value rather than just losing. Oh, the pass rusher's gone. Well, we're going to take the running back. He was the next best up. And really just another Boston Scott. We're basically getting players that can replace the current style of player we already have. It's really strange, but that's kind of the way it's going. If the fullbacks there, we're taking them. Quinn, Hoffman, and yeah, the Hiddens really weren't flying. Really good fullback, though, actually. But Hiddens weren't flying, but a really good draft nonetheless. I want to see our corner. I think we have a spot for him regardless. And I don't think he can start no matter what his overall is, so, or his dev is, unfortunately. But you got to assume it's star anyways. If it's anything higher than star, he's a god. And yeah, he is a star. 36 looks a little weird. Let's go a little lower. 20, yeah, they ain't going to allow that. 33. 36 is kind of looking, I guess, 33. A lot of DB numbers around here. But let's take a look at some of the other guys. Obviously, we did pass. I'd say the middle linebacker probably will be hidden, but what can you do? Franklin, the tight end, hidden development trait, 75 overall, because, you know, they need a stud tight end, obviously. Sheldon Franklin, which I did change his number. Star dev. He's got the visor as well. Let's make him sick. 87 looks pretty decent, obviously. We had pick 3. Here's what they got. Lowry. Oh, they sold. Yikes. Whitfield, they did get a hidden. Nice. What about this guy? Normal. Yikes. Same guy. Yikes. Yikes again. Man, we landed ourselves a pretty good corner. Let's take a look at some of the guys we did pass up on, though. Here's one of the other corner options. Obviously not as good as our guy, but still good. Normal dev lineman, who's also a low overall on top of it. If you didn't feel bad enough about the dev, you also get to see that he's a bad overall. Doug Fisher was decent, especially with how big he is, but raw. Chris Oliver, hidden development trait, normal, though. They just trying to make Kuechly, ain't they? Just trying to make Kuechly. And you know what? It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the dev, star dev. I just want to see some of the players you missed. I got to stop looking at all these other players, just wasting time. All right, so the DT, this is not the D. Was it? No, that might have been the DT, actually. I think that was the DT. Didn't obviously look that great. Not like it was much worse. No, here it is. Here's the guy I was looking at, Sidney Clark. The other guy was as well, but Clark was the guy that kind of fell even further than I thought. This guy's hidden for sure. Normal. I mean, still a really good player, but, I mean, I'm happy with our decision, obviously. I don't know if this was our guy, Cedric McPherson. He is hidden. I don't imagine it would have been him, though, right? I think our guy was 278. Was this the guy? I can't remember, but even if that guy was our guy, he is pretty crap anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. Ah, here it is. I'm almost certain this is the guy. 1,000,000,000% certain. Not bad, but, you know, kind of useless. But we landed some good players. We landed some future starters and some current day one starters. I mean, that was a good draft. And I think we landed a little bit for next year. Not much. A 5th and a 7th. Yeah, it's something. I'm having a hard time putting Landon Dickerson at tackle because he is really just like a true center, but his size is undeniable. We need a tackle badly. I mean, it's like you got to be versatile, otherwise we just can't find a spot for you on the roster. I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to have to force him there. And it sounds weird to say force him, but, you know, get there, get the hell out. Also, looking at Landon Dickerson's like injury history, especially for Philadelphia, whether, you know, people are like, injuries, you know, it doesn't happen. It's just unlucky. The Eagles are just that team this year. Little surprising that they actually did draft him, right? Like, am I the only one thinking that? No? Eagles fans are like, yeah, no, you're not the only one. We are also very sad. Like, potential is one thing, but when your team has been constantly plagued by injuries, why even take the risk, you know? You could be like the Philadelphia Eagles of the NBA world, and if a guy has that kind of ankle to knee, you know, injury history, and the guy's touted as potentially the next LeBron James, I'm just not touching him. You know, it's just like, yeah, sweet, LeBron James, best of luck, hopefully, for you. But no. We traded Mailata and Josh Sweat to the Dolphins for a 5th this and a 7th next year. I would have went with a 4th straight up, but with their first pick overall ranking, apparently they actually have a chance of giving that to us at a decent rate. And a late 3rd for those guys seems a little high. Off to a pretty good start on the season, and really good start as our rookie Khalil Allen, a guy we have a lot of hopes for now already. I should say not even now, just already star development trait. All right, so we have some re-signings. Jason Kelsey, a guy that I'm just expecting to be here forever. So I'm going to give him a 2-year, 23 basically mil deal, which is fair. Brandon Graham, a guy that I want to be here forever, but let's just be honest, this is his last year here. If he would have got superstar last season, maybe, but he didn't. Maddox, I think he is kind of needed. A 4-year 23 is also not a bad deal, so I'll give him that deal. He'll be the slot corner here for the long-term future ahead. And everyone else, you know, not really that big of names. Steven Nelson, we already have the replacement lined up. Just need someone for Brandon Graham. We're ready to go. All right, we kind of choked on the season. Did we choke too much? And we did, as we finished 8-8, which isn't a bad season, but I think we were like 7-4 at one point. So there's 3 wins, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, and then you go 5-4, 6-4, 7-4, and then you finish the season 8-8. That's an awful finish. But once again, it is an improvement. We don't have pick 3 anymore. Jalen Hurts is okay, but the numbers are still lacking. Miles Sanders, you mind just getting one more yard, if you don't mind? Receiving, Dallas Goedert was the best out of everyone. These receivers not really looking super hot here, not going to lie. O-line, Landon Dickerson, first season as a tackle. Strongman himself, doing better than Mailata, and I would assume he'll get better over the years, so maybe he has actually a chance at that spot. Stevens, hopefully finally star, right? Cox was decent. Allen was really good, best edge we had since, a couple years ago. Brandon Graham, once again, okay season, considering he's getting older and older. Picks were okay. Kicking, missed 2 by blocks, 3 overall. It's not terrible. And then, that's the return numbers. As far as MVP goes, I don't expect anything even relatively close for us. Any award at all? Holloman. All right, the number 3 wide receiver. Looks like we may have got ourselves a guy for the future at that position. We pretty much have our receivers at this point, right? Everyone's basically set. Running back's still kind of a debate, though. I know in real life he's obviously insane, Miles Sanders, that is, but not really playing super well here, and the Packers win it all over the Titans. DevUps on offense, who would we even have had a DevUp for? I don't think any of them really were deserving anyways. And then defensively, Stevens does go to star, and I believe that is the only DevUp, but at least you get a DevUp. Someone, I suppose. Crispy, the number 2, Maddox at number 3 for long-term. Slay is going to need to be replaced soon, which kind of sucks, man. Just when you feel like our DBs are finally getting, in order, at least the cornerbacks, it's untrue. So defense is really the thing we have to keep focusing on. And can we get rid of Hargrave yet? He gone. I believe that's actually kind of similar to what he restructured in real life. I think that actually is very close. Colbert starts at number 2. We save some money. Brendan Graham's going to be gone, so we're going to need a new left end and then maybe look at a new safety. But overall, I like the direction we're going in. We're saving money. We have a lot of the core pieces in place. We just have to hopefully land on the draft again, maybe get an actual hidden at a different position other than just one. And maybe we can land someone sneaky in the free agency period here as we have 46 mil to work with. O-line seems to be intact. It is nice. Offense seems fine. Maybe draft a lineman for the future. But as of right now, quarterback would really be the only position I'd be looking for on offense. Maybe running back. And then defensively, of course, left end, potential safeties. Actually, not even potential, for sure safeties. And then linebackers have been an issue for a while. But, it's really about what can we get. See what we can get. Devontae Adams would be nice. Not a fit. And if it was real life, he would have been on a new team or signed long-term with the Packers, so he just wouldn't be here at all. Gilmore would be sick, but I imagine he would be traded before then, before letting go into free agency. Fred Warner, meh. Baker Mayfield, I don't see the Browns letting go of. Gallup would be a guy I would expect. Devin McCourty, I think he retires as a Patriot, but this is, it's definitely a possibility. The Packers are broke as hell, so Chris Barnes could be the guy here. As, he's a run-stopping type as well, so I can't really think of that many, pure good coverage guys. I know that's kind of what the Eagles have now, but I can't really remember the last time they've had a really good coverage guy. Leighton Vander Esch. I'm trying to think. The thing is, I think the Packers let go of Barnes before the Cowboys let go of Leighton Vander Esch, but the problem is I don't see Barnes being an 86 overall, even though he has a lot of potential. But the Cowboys could let Leighton go because of just salary issues. So both teams could go broke. But I think Chris Barnes is the more realistic guy to hit free agency. Ronnie Harrison does kind of fit the team a little bit. I think we're gonna actually pay him. You're gonna pay Ronnie and Chris, which actually are huge additions to the team if they sign. All right, we offered a few contracts. Nothing really too debt worthy, but if we get them, could be huge additions to the squad as we get Barnes and Harrison, a bunch of backups as well. We need a couple of backups, and we got them. No one else would be a starter. Actually, this guy would be a starter. This guy was 22 years old, star development trade. We actually gave him a pretty big deal. Probably would be a restructure if he actually turns out good, but I mean, we technically do have a starter at left end now. As you can see, here is what he looks like. 83 speed, 88 excel, 81 finesse. Pretty fair ratings. All right, so here we are with pick 17 in the first round. Bernie Taylor, that I mentioned, was very good, but had a little bit of an iffy combine. Don't really need a wide receiver, though. Connor Burr, they didn't mention at all, but I thought he looked decent. And then Caleb McLean is probably my number one choice out of everyone. He is a mid-second, so realistically, the worst thing we should do is probably trade down to like 32 if we can. And the Patriots have given us our offer. I will gladly take that. That's a win and a half. That actually said we have like 100 points bonus for ourselves. Absolutely love it. And they take a really good player, so everyone wins in that scenario. I can't be mad. And of course, call it early. Do whatever you want. Caleb McLean is our pick. Looks way too good to pass on. And oh, he's good. 78 overall normal. Once again, normal, but absolutely insane. We have ourselves a future replacement for somebody on the offensive line. And you can't be mad with that one bit. Also, where the hell is my safeties, bro? I need some safeties. Late first and late first. Do we take one of these guys, too? I mean, I know we have the guy that we grabbed long-term deal, but one of these guys... I mean, at the end of the day, if that, you know, if none of them are hidden, our guy is better already, the guy that we have waiting in the mix. So I really don't know. I think we're just going to go to 17, see what's there, and then probably trade down again. Maybe even get a first round next year from someone if we're lucky. Ooh, actually, Friedman looks good. Who do we... 28's pretty far. I'm going to take Friedman. Looks really good. We don't have any depth at pass rush anyways, so worst case scenario, one of them's a backup, which, I mean, obviously that's kind of the case. But Matthew Friedman, let's see the dev. 72 overall normal. Decent potential. Kind of, you know, similar to Allen, but not quite as good. Not a good pick. It means nothing for us. Just going to be blatantly honest. And then we do have a third round DT is a late first grade, but we also have a seventh round DT that's a late first grade. So I'm just not going to worry about that one bit. I think with this pick, we're going to take Rashad Claiborne. Might be a little early, might not even be a good player, but I'm willing to take him. We need safeties, and he's a 70 overall normal. This is something, this is the type of guy I would have liked to seen from us last year rather than what we did get. I know our guy was higher overall, but this guy at least has the build, like he actually can get the job done. And now hopefully our middle linebacker's there because he looked pretty decent. He is Terence Thompson. Looks like a can't-miss player. We're going to take him, and he apparently is potential, not even potential, an automatic starter right out the gate. I love it. Wearing number 99, though. I thought Allen wears number 99. Could never have enough corners. Monty Anderson, just fast enough. A little on the lower side for weight, but 71 overall normal. And I mean, definitely workable, but for me, not very happy with that pick at all, obviously. There's also another corner. I kind of want to see where he went, although I can't really remember off the top of my head what his name even is. I think his name was like Hatchet or something. And he went to the Saints, all right. So we grabbed 2 7ths to move down to 31, which I suppose we're just going to start taking best available. I don't know if middle linebacker is that big of a deal anymore, but James Peck looks really good, so we're going to take him. He is a 68 overall normal, but once again, a guy that probably would be drafted a bit higher than this just because of how solid he is. And 85 agility seems really high. Is that wrong or no? For some reason, my brain's like not calculating it. And as far as that DT goes, we may have sold, but we'll find out. He's there. Winborn is ours. And he is a hidden development trait player, 73 overall. May already be a starter over Colbert. Things get interesting with that, but obviously, not the biggest pick in the world is, once again, didn't really help us out that much since we already had those positions technically filled. Shaq Leverett, another backup lineman, I suppose. Why not? 68 overall normal. Yeah, fits the role. Good block shed guy. And realistically, I think we're just going to trade down. I actually lied. We're going to take a punter. I know it's a little high for one, but kind of fits the, where he should be, and obviously very, very talented. You see late 5th, early 6th punters and kickers a lot, and that guy obviously was rated as a mid-3rd type talent, and he kind of was. And then we traded 3 third-round picks for a 5th next. I know in real life you actually would love to have all those 7th-round picks, which I may have called third-round picks. But for us, they just don't mean anything. We have pretty much our starting roster lined up and ready to go already. I believe the only hidden we had was Winborn. Once again, there's no chance for him to start because the other guy obviously deserves to start. If this guy's superstar better, he'll probably replace the guy next season. But yeah, star development trade is cool and all, but the other guy has just a bit of a step on him already. I'm kind of curious about a tackle there was. He was red talent grade. Here he is. But they said he was the best tackle, so we'll see. And yikes. I'm going to give him star dev, though, for the Bears because, you know, his rating looked bad. He's 23, but they said he was the best. So, like, imagine taking a risk on that guy because they mentioned him in the news, but it meant nothing. Like, it's so dumb. And then Hatchet from the Saints, you had a 50-50 chance, and this guy definitely would have been better, but both weren't really starter caliber. That guy was heavier, which is why I was thinking about grabbing him and putting him at safety, which probably would be a bit better value than what we got, but yeah, he was 5'9", so I was like, eh. All right, year 3, and the team's looking, I mean, I wouldn't say really great, but the youth is looking pretty good. You know, we have our left tackle for the future, left guard for the future, center for the future. You know, Lane Johnson's old, but he's actually really old. Never mind. We got to replace Brooks, like, soon. If he needs a contract, I think McLean's just going to replace him. Everything else looks pretty good, though. As far as linebackers go, super improvement as Thompson actually moves all the way up to a 77 overall as a left outside linebacker. Obviously, Barnes, same overall as when we signed him. Cornerback Crisp will be the new starting corner by the end of the season, or by the start of next season, I would imagine, just because Slay's going to regress. Crisp will be going up. We'll need a new number 2 corner, I'd imagine. New free safety, and then potentially an edge, but we'll see, because Saxon, once again, high potential. 22 years old, plenty of potential there. Of course, the traits kind of suck, but I, once again, don't think traits matter. We've tested that many a time. And that is about it. Let's move on and see if we can actually make the postseason, let alone, you know, have a good season with, you know, stats and whatnot. All right, re-signings. Fletcher Cox, I'll give him a 2-year deal because he's just, you know, kind of a god. So 2-year, $39 million deal, which is a lot. Miles Sanders, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if he deserves the contract. Once again, real life, maybe. In game, I don't see it. You know, look at these numbers. Real life was solid. But for us, every single year has been below average for an NFL running back, right? 4.0 is kind of where you should start yards per carry wise if you're even average. And then higher would be, you know, if you're above average. The thing about it is, though, it's not bad money. That's the problem. He's an 86 overall. It's not bad money. Jacoby Stevens, a 4-year 10. I mean, I kind of have to sign that even if he's not going to be the future at the position. It's good backup money to, you know, play depth. So we're going to definitely sign Jacoby. Everyone else is probably not going to re-sign, and then maybe Sanders. And Khalil Allen is that dude. Superstar dev. He succeeded on both of his breakouts. He's an absolute god. And I'm in a tough position because Miles Sanders has improved, but has he improved enough? He's going to be under 1,000 yards again, but his yards per carry have improved, and obviously his touchdowns have doubled in, you know, any of the years. Some of them tripled. So, I mean, a 5-year deal is extensive, but, I mean, it's a fair deal. He looks like he could be the guy. We'll just, I mean, I don't know. And here we are. Are we going to go 8-8 again, or are we going to go 9-7? And we go 9-7. Unlikely to get the breakout for Devonte Smith, but might as well take a look, right? And, of course, you know, that's not the game I was hoping to have. I want to actually see how fair that is of a statement. 9-7, we got the division win, but let's actually take a 0-28 against the Bears, though. They do have a good defense, but really, let's take a look at Devontae's game. Yeah, I agree. It is not the game you would like to have, but not a bad performance on the season as we go 9-7. Jalen Hurts, I mean, still really average numbers. The picks are still very high as well. I mean, he's about average. Miles Sanders probably didn't deserve the contract, but it is what it is. Receiving, Devonta Smith could still go to X Factor. It was a really good season from him. Jalen Reagor, yards were decent. Touchdowns were lacking. Same with Goddard. As far as blocking goes, yikes from the tackles. Barnes, really good tackles. Sack totals, Khalil Allen could go to X Factor here. Cox with a good season again as well. And then that edge rusher we got, like a 4 or 5 year deal for, did not play super well, but we're in the postseason, and, you know, the Vikings are a talented team, but we could definitely face worse, and they're probably thinking the other, you know, the same thing on the other side, but we have a chance. You know, we have a chance to at least win a game here in the postseason. At least we made it there. Year 3, not a bad pace, I suppose. Going to usually do about 5 years at, you know, at max, but we'll see if we need it. Maybe we win it all here. Who knows? 7-0 start, not really a favorable start. 7-3. Come on, Philly. Defense is doing okay. 10-7, 17-7 now. Halftime score of that. Third quarter, you know, they're moving a little bit. Now it's 14-point lead. 7 points. 14-point lead again, and Minnesota's not going away, but we hold on The offense finally got it going just in time, and the defense obviously played their part. Jalen Hurts threw that pick, but a pretty good performance from him, especially how much of a game manager type player he's been lately. As far as defensively goes, a lot of sacks, a lot of pressure, and yeah, that's really all I can say is the pressure seemed to be definitely in favor of our team, which probably played a decent factor. As Khalil Allen is now an 88 overall already, he's an absolute god. 2 finesse moves, so 93 finesse, super fast, absolute beast of a player. And now, speaking of the team that destroyed us week 1, get another chance at it, of course, at home. I don't know if the other one was at home or not, but at home, just don't lose 0-28, and you won't be too sad, right? If you make it competitive, I don't think anyone will be too mad. And a little surprised we didn't have, some snow here or something. As Cleveland gets knocked off by the Patriots, this would be a year to do it if you're going to try to come out and win it all. 3-all, speaking of, started of the second quarter, up 7. Now tied up. Bears definitely not doing as well as they did week 1 against us, at least. Up 7 we are, third quarter. Only up 4 now. Touchdown, nice. 11-point lead. 8-point lead. The Bears do not look like they have it in them, and they don't, as the Philadelphia Eagles, surprisingly enough, are headed to the championship round. Of course, Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Rushing, obviously awful numbers this time. Last week was okay. I don't know. It just seems like the offense just isn't good enough. I mean, I don't know if we're just too small. We're not big enough. We're not bullying teams around. But we just don't seem like good. Yet we're winning. So I suppose it doesn't really matter. And we are getting scores up there, I suppose. It's going to be against someone godly, isn't it? Like the Saints, the Packers. They did just win the Super Bowl as well. So yikes. But 87 overall. So once again, we are, they are the highest we've faced. But we definitely are the highest out of the 2, so not really underdogs necessarily, but kind of underdogs in snowy Lambeau Field. We were wondering when that snow game was going to hit, and the Jaguars are in the Super Bowl. Not a complete surprise at all. I think actually a repeat from them coming out of the AFC for the Super Bowl, but okay. I mean, it's not the Browns, so winner this one has a decent chance. Is that us left to right driving all the way down and doing nothing? This is a very interesting game, to say the least, and Green Bay's kind of opening things up here, which is not good. I mean, do I think we deserve to win a Super Bowl right here and now? I don't know, but I'm getting sick of us, struggling the way we have, and that's a really late read. The throw power of Jalen Hurts definitely hurting us there, and that, barely over 100 yards passing. All right, Jalen, interesting. Suppose you didn't throw a pick, but Jair Alexander with a massive PI call, which is a little shocking from him. Can the defense make a stop? It does not look good, and they do. Only down 6 now. A touchdown gives you the lead. 3rd and 18, you probably do have to punt it here. Yeah, you have to. Damn it, dude. The Eagles are just choking, and I believe that will be it. Oh, maybe not. They have a chance. I want to see this out. I want to see them go to the Super Bowl. Once again, do they deserve it? I don't know, but this would be an underdog story, and, maybe you don't always need to have the best team ever to win it all, right? That's what I want to see, and I don't know if it was Fletcher Cox or what, but Rodgers got rid of that thing early, and it was awful. And here you go, 3rd and 10, choking hard, but they get the first down, choking again a little bit, and they score the touchdown. I didn't technically really play that big of a part, right? Our first down throw meant nothing in the end anyways. And then, of course, our defense, yeah, Fletcher Cox, but we could have probably done better AI Fletcher. But what a weird sim game. Defense did enough to hold off Green Bay. And, of course, the main thing is the offense did enough to not turn the ball over, realistically. They weren't great on offense, but they didn't turn the ball over, and that was the big key in this one. Of course, a little bit better of a pass rush from us, it seems. Can't really, guarantee that. Both kickers really solid. But only one team can make it to the Super Bowl, and it's us, as the Philadelphia Eagles. Could make it a short rebuild, but I think win or lose, we'll probably play 5 just to see if we can at least, get to the Super Bowl again within the next 2. But if we win here and then we win next year, or we lose here and we win next year, then, we'll call it there. But, yeah, not a bad season at all, and I'll show you guys after we get these upgrades in that we didn't force any, wins or anything like that. Let's go check now real quick. I don't know if people even care anymore. People are like, we never cared. Just do what you gotta do. I don't know. I don't know what people care about or not. But the Jaguars, I think they just lost the Super Bowl against Green Bay as well. So are they primed to win it now, or are they doomed to lose again? Who knows? As Devonte Smith does get to X Factor, and he's obviously looking like a boss. Let's take a look at his rating. So really good deep, really good medium, if he's short, which is interesting enough. Absolute beast status defensively. Now let's take a look, as Allen is an X Factor. Khalil Allen, superstar X Factor, unstoppable force with goal line stuff. Really? With 67 block shed? I'm not an expert, but I don't think so, right? Like, that just doesn't seem very smart. That's way more realistic, and that's not even cheesing. We also see dev-ups to Stevens, who is now a superstar, and Chris Barnes, who is a superstar, making these some really solid players. Once again, Chris Barnes, not really a pick guy, gets pick artists, as you would expect. I suppose Out of My Way would make sense. And then Deflator, he's not really a Deflator type. I know that's a good thing, but I suppose Short Route maybe. Nah, I guess Stonewall makes sense for him, run-stopping type of guy. But yeah, let's do this thing. Have a chance at the Super Bowl. Can we do it? 9-7 versus their 10-6. No one really, neither team really dominating through the regular season. No one really expected them to be the top two teams when it was all said and done. So here we are, kind of the underdog Super Bowl. I don't think anyone could really be too mad with one of these two teams winning, unless you're obviously a division rival, especially if you're an NFC division rival or NFC East division rival. 7-0 start, 7-3. Jaguars are off to the races here. 14-6, 21-6, 28-6. Of all these teams, this is the one to put it on us. Of course, you can see here, Philadelphia not giving up, looking actually pretty strong to potentially come back and win it. As 7 minutes left, only down 3. Defense got to make a play, though. Defense doesn't make a stop, which they do not. It's over, and you just cannot give up a 6-minute touchdown drive when there's 7 minutes left and you're up by 3. The defense sold. It was all the defense. The defense gave up 38 points to the Jaguars, who I know are an up-and-coming super team, at least in Madden. We can all agree to that. Still, especially with Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton with Chark is an interesting squad, obviously. But, man, that hurts. To lose the way we did there sucks. Got a Super Bowl trip a little bit earlier than we expected, though, and they missed a freaking field goal. But obviously, we have another chance to get it done, and that's my reaction right there. You've got to be kidding me. Of all the teams we faced, this is the one to put the numbers on us? I thought maybe the Vikings or the Packers, but no. The Jaguars are the team. Sure, I suppose. Re-signings, we just don't really have a reason to grab any of these guys. Anthony Harris is still actually pretty decent, but give the young guys a chance or just sign someone. As we do have $48 million to work with. Do not know Jalen Hurts' status, but that would be a guy I would love to give an option to, but I don't think you can because he was like a mid to early second rounder, right? Jason Kelce almost to the point where you can get rid of him, but we gave him kind of a guaranteed deal, and he is still worthy of starting, obviously. Anyone else? Everything seems pretty fair, right? Like the contracts are pretty good. I would just maybe try to sign one position of need and then save the rest for re-signings. Or if there's like a really solid corner, because obviously Slay is kind of on the way out here. So yeah, looking for new O-lineman replacements. Could maybe get rid of Brooks already. Let's see. So we could physically, but it's probably unlikely to find someone worthy of doing that for Jalen Hurts. 86 overall. He's decent. But nothing too spectacular, especially with that throw power. But yeah, really don't have to worry about offense too much. Free safety is a need. Left end Saxon was bad, but he did get a decent bit of overall upgrades. He is actually pretty solid with that finesse, ironically enough, but we'll see there. DT2. Winborn he's like a different type of player, right? Like he's just a straight up block shedder, where Colbert's kind of like a pass rushing DT. He's a super athletic guy that can probably develop into that, but yeah, free safety is the biggest need. Corner, O-line for the future. That's really what we're going to be looking for here in free agency in the draft. But obviously in the draft, it's more best available. Devontae, free agent again, doesn't really, we don't really need him, and it doesn't really matter too much. Sweat, who's never been good in Sim for me. If you can actually look at his sacks over the years, I bet you they're not even that good. Kareem Hunt would be a nice running back. Don't need him, though. Quan Alexander would be a nice one-year guy. Same with Poyer. 2 years, $16 million for Poyer is not bad at all. I think that might be who we go for, right? There's not really many other options here. All right, so we actually offered another contract, a 4-year, $37 million deal for Bradbury, who I'd say probably in real life at this point, if he actually was an 85, maybe something like a 4-year, 48 instead, but nobody really wanted him, so I took him. Poyer, 2-year, 19, and then Clemens was just some backup star dev corner. Not really, super potential-wise unless you started him and he had a really good season, but not bad, obviously. And what do we want to do with all these players? It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. But I think Bradbury may actually start at guard for us this season. Or I don't know, dude. What do we want to do? Because you don't, not start him, right? But, obviously, Kelsey's going to be gone next season. May even retire. Brooks is going to be gone next season. Probably will retire as well. So I wanted a guy for the future. 4-year deal worth less than $10 million per year is an absolute steal. McLean would be starter center, and then Bradbury would be guard. So I don't know if I want to get rid of Brooks just yet. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. He's sick. I think, oh, man. We're going to trade Brooks off for a third-round pick. I know you're thinking, the third round's pretty high, but he's 34. Still got some left in the tank. Obviously a talent and a half, so anyone that can afford him is going to have him for a third. And the Bills are a pretty good team, so I'm going to give them a, late third counts. It's a third round, technically. We offered a risky one. We offered 31, 84, and 63 to the Raiders for 15, and that is because there is a solid-looking pass rusher here. I know it's a little bit of a reach because of the guy we already have. His ratings look good, but his traits do suck, and I don't know if the game just doesn't expect him to be good or not, but this guy just looks like a can't miss, and I'm in the business of can't miss players, of course. But, man, are there some really talented players in general. Miles Whitworth, sort of thing maybe we did actually sell a little bit there. There's some really good talent. But Matthias Blackwell is our biggest need. That's who I'm going to take. And, of course, 76 overall hidden, day one starter. And, honestly, the guy was really good that we traded, we replaced. I might actually trade up with the Jets here. And, if they need a corner or they need a couple of players, you might be able to make a trade up with them as well. So we trade Saxton, a second next, and a fifth this for the Ravens pick 23, which doesn't quite get us where we need to be because I do want a cornerback, I think. Let's see what we have. So cornerback is probably who's this guy? Well, that guy looks sick. Is the corner gone? Or did I move him up? Oh, I did move him up. Miles Whitworth, I don't know if the Jets need a corner, but I'm willing to make another trade to try and get there. We trade 23 this, 95 this, and a fourth next to move up to 17. All of this to take a combine skipping corner. Oh, how old is he actually? 21. You got to take the risk. We need a corner for the future, please. And he is hidden. So, yes, we traded a lot. We traded even some of our future for what we just played on, we just did. But in the end, it looks like it's going to be paying off tenfold, which is absolutely insane. As far as what we can do next, there's not really a whole lot we can do, honestly. So I guess we'll start moving down. Is there any other players? So we have a fourth-round pick. We need a DT, kind of, because the guy we have right now is just not going to cut it. What are we missing? So corner and pass rusher, which we just solved. No worries there. Safety, obviously, Poyer will be playing free safety for us. Future corner we solved. Salary, other than salary issues, we're good. We have our center for the future as well. It's just money. I think we have the roster set, so I don't think we're going to be trading up unless we see someone in the third, but no more first-round trade-ups. And as you can tell, we love our first-round trade-ups. So to move up to 97, we trade our fourth this, a seventh this, and a fifth next to do so, and in which we will be taking a tight end, I believe. The guy looks like immense talent. I'm going to take a look at these other people first, though. This tackle could be great for all I know. Dave Riles. The question is, do we need a tight end? This guy looks decent, but yeah, we're going to take... now we are going to take Burton. 72 overall normal. Doesn't really look super great. We'll take a look at that Dave guy whenever he gets taken. We'll take a look at how good he was. Can't wait for him to be hidden. So the Lions take him. We have some picks still here. We're going to take a center, Mr. Chris Sheldon. Kind of a meh. And then how good was that safety? Because I might just trade up for him. We have a lot of seventh-rounders anyways. We'll trade up now to Cleveland and get a seventh-round projected safety. Our next year picks must be sucky, right? Missing a second, a fourth, and a fifth. Could be worse. We're going to trade up the rest of our entire class to move up here, and even that might not be enough. We'll see. And it is. So the rest of our class, not a high quantity, but a very, very high quality. Kirk Hardy, let's take a look. 67 overall normal. Thought maybe we got a sneaky one. Not a bad player, but not really going to do much for us for this rebuild. But let's go to the end of this thing. Can't remember if there was other players we could have taken if we would have just waited or not. Maybe some linemen, but linemen are kind of boring. We don't really need those picks. So automatic starter, Matthias Blackwell, left end, right out the gate, drafted as a left outside linebacker. Gives me Chase Young vibes. Will he have Chase Young? Dev, though, and he doesn't, which really doesn't help us a whole lot. Number 58, just like the last guy, I believe. And then Miles Whitworth, no matter what, cannot start this season, as we just don't have a spot unless we trade off Slay, which is a possibility. Kind of depends on the money, because I think we do actually have to pay our fella, what's his name again? Jalen Hurts. Of course, there was also a Heisman-winning quarterback. Should not have fallen this far, so that's why I didn't trade up for him. Looks really good. Kind of like a Russell Wilson type player. A little bit lower on the throw power, but kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson. Let's take a look at the dev, probably X Factor. It is only star, but obviously still a really good player. Camp was one of the guys I was thinking about grabbing. Glad I didn't. Shield was probably one of the higher DTs that I was going to trade up for. Not really mad I didn't, or happy I didn't. And yeah, realistically, there was not a whole lot of talent there outside. Oh, Ryan Williams definitely would have been one of the guys I wanted, but, it's too late for that. It's re-sign time. Jason Kelsey's one of those guys, but we have everything lined up. Replacing him is already in the plans. Jalen Reagor, we're going to give him a 6-year deal worth about $70 million, which is pretty fair for a guy. He's decent, but he's not, like, full-on, ready to go. Jalen Hurts, this is the biggest question mark. I think if you're Philly, you probably have to keep... Ooh, he is playing like some trash. I don't know, dude. I'm not sure. Landon Dickerson, we're obviously going to pay, so I'm going to give him a 7-year deal. Lock that in real quick. No matter where he plays on the line, it's going to be worth it. I don't know about Jalen Hurts, though. That throw power seems to be just too trash. Might be a tag situation for him, to be honest. Headed to the playoffs. Once again, 9-7 looking season, and we do get the 9-7 mark. Really not that impressive, though. Jalen Hurts' numbers looked better than they started, but still really rough. Miles Sanders, touchdowns suck, but at least yards per carry is up there, and he's over 1,000 yards, which is nice. Reagor, not bad. Goddard, awful. Holloman, iffy. Devonta Smith, obviously solid. Offensive line, it's getting better and better, but Landon Dickerson's still kind of iffy. Chris Barnes, who's the middle linebacker, apparently gets a lot of pass rush time or blitzing time, as he has 8 sacks. Potential defensive player of the year here, maybe. Allen, really decent. I wouldn't say really good. I was about to, but decent. Blackwell, decent for a rookie. Cox, obviously solid, and I was hoping he would be, because he's supposed to be the best pass rusher around here. As far as the MVP goes, I'm not expecting us to ever get that, like, ever. Blackwell gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. We get Best Wide Receiver. Really, we don't even get Best Linebacker. Number 3. I thought maybe Defensive Player of the Year. But no, we can't even get Best Linebacker, let alone Best Defensive Player. As we here are against the Giants. I don't know what that English is, but, I mean, we made it to the Super Bowl before. I wouldn't say can we do it again, because I really don't feel like we can, but I suppose we're here. We're the highest overall we have. Against this team, at least, between these two teams, going up against any other future team, I have no idea. I'd imagine, if we had to play the Browns, which I would love to, because that means we're in the Super Bowl, they would probably be higher than us, or very close to, if not. Jalen Hurts he's just not good enough, it seems. That's really the issue here. He's just not good enough, but 14-3, potential chance to get back to the divisional at least. 21-3, fourth quarter starting now, and defense is doing its job. I mean, if Philadelphia can win on the defense, I'll take it. It really doesn't matter how you win. It's about just winning, as both teams really didn't look that great on offense. Well, Miles Sanders was decent, I suppose. The yards weren't super great, but, offense did play their part. Defense was obviously very good on pass rush. Pick for Maddox. Kicking has been really good in the postseason, though, for us with Jake Elliott. I don't think he's missed a single extra point or field goal. Divisional, who is it going to be against? It is the Packers, as expected. Both teams 91 overall. I can't imagine they still have Rodgers, and if they do, he's got to be a really low overall. So we should have the QB nod, but let's be honest, we probably don't. And yet another snowy one. I really am, in a secretive way, can't wait for the Packers to kind of suck. As you can see, Jordan Love is the quarterback in the future, if that ever happens, because I would love to play as the Packers in a franchise again, but I want a bad Packers team, so don't know if that'll ever happen in the next like half decade or a decade, but we'll see. As 17-7, it was 17-7 still. I mean, I'll take it. 24-7, start of the fourth, up 14, up 21. I mean, not a great regular season performing team, but apparently a decent postseason performer, as we more than doubled their score, giving us another shot at a Super Bowl as we're in the championship round now. Jalen Hurts outperforms Love. Gotta love it. They still have Tanya, which interesting to say the least. Zadarius Smith with 3 sacks. I mean, Blackwell's playing really well in the postseason. Some of our other guys that are supposed to be better, especially Allen, kind of disappearing there, but I suppose here we are. And they must love Keenan Allen because they brought him up again. Come on, anyone but the Saints. Seattle. I don't know how I feel about that one either, but 87 overall, so I suppose it's fine, but those quarterbacks, man, they carry, specifically in Sim. Russell Wilson just always keeps it competitive. And snow in Seattle. Is this a normal thing? Because this looks sick. I don't know if that's a normal thing, but now I'm hoping Russell Wilson gets traded or something, because Seattle would be fun too. No way it's a common thing for snow, right? I want to move to Seattle a little bit just because I love rain, and I think they have one of the most common rainy seasons, or active rainy seasons. I don't know what the wording is, but not really liking the performance so far. But we get the touchdown, they get one back. Oh no! Here's the thing, Philadelphia, don't sell. They get a long field goal, 53-yarder, but they have a chance now, and they punt it. Offense can keep them off the field, and they do. Why would you take the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands, especially when it's only a 3-point game? I'll never know. Jalen Hurts sold unbelievably high, but the defense did the job of the offense and did the thing. I actually wonder if they did legitimately get like a touchdown on defense, and they did not. But of course, you can see Jordan Poyer joining in on the fun, and still perfect game, perfect postseason from Jake Elliott. Believe every single postseason game we've had, he's been perfect. But I'll show you once again, we did not cheat. I don't really care about that. Show you guys, no force wins or anything like that. God dang it. We're winning. We're winning. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, we're just juicing it. This Philadelphia Eagles team, they're just known for being the underdog. If they're not the favorites, rematch. If they're not the favorites, they've got a good chance. Let's take a look at our DevUps, as this could be the final season. If we win this, we're calling it here, as we have no DevUps on offense, to my knowledge. I don't think that's not really surprising. And Crisp, what got him the DevUp? I really am curious. He had a couple of picks, I think, but 4 picks, 96 tackles. What about the deflections? Is that enough? 4 picks? I guess that's good enough for Superstar. Okay, sure. What else do we have? Any other DevUps defensively? It does not appear so, but here it is. The chance to win it all. Wouldn't say a rematch against... it is a rematch, but I wouldn't say revenge, because obviously the Patriots lost that one, but can the Patriots get revenge? Please say they can't. Jalen Hurts, Cam Newton, who will come out on top as the Patriots get the first points? 10 points already. 2 points off the safety. Patriots love to get safetied in the Super Bowl. I don't know what it is. Is that 2 safeties? No, it was a field goal. Okay, the number's a little weird, as this is a close one. I mean, we do not look as good as them, but we're able to put up some points anyways. No matter how you do it, that's all that matters. As we do get the touchdown in the 2-point, the defense has played so well, and then all said and done, they choke it. And look at this choke job. Do I have to come in? I'm coming in. I don't care. I've put too much sweat and tears into this freaking rebuild to see it go down with Jalen Hurts playing like trash, which I assume is the case, right? And we're going to just throw that right into Reagor, who's going to slip off, hurry up to the line. Holy crap. 16 for 35. Is he even looking? As we see Devonta Smith burning on the inside, break some ankles. You got to save the timeouts, I believe, as he might just force this to Goddard. Forcing it to Goddard, don't really need to as he's open. The Patriots playing a little lax there. Devonta also burning off the line, which helps. And what a disaster. What a disaster. 55 seconds left. For some reason, I thought that they actually got it, but they obviously didn't. You got to run commit, and if they throw this ball, EA just needs to hire brand new coders. Because, like, that's just rigging. Like, you don't... Are you joking me? This team looks loaded. Yeah, here they are, struggling. This Poyer tries to get in there. Really good job to just make them lose even more yards. At this point, you pretty much want the block, right? Because they're going to be looking for, you know, an angled punt anyways. They're not going to get it to you. You're not going to get a chance. So, Poyer, your wife is hot. What? You know, you probably would get a weaker punt. I'd probably say like the 16-yard line in a situation like this. As we're just going to force... I can see why this team can't win the big dance. Oh my God, Jalen. How? Yeah, there we go. Short throw. It works out. We gain some yards. Get out of bounds. It's not technically crossers, right? So you can tell it's not technically crossers because it's good, but it's not that good. As that Reagor gets it down to the 47, who gives a damn? I want to win. As Holloman is good, but Devonte is better. So if we're going to take anyone deep, it would be him. As don't catch that. This is the last play. All right, last play. Devontae's got a chance. He doesn't get it. No way. As that's how we're going to lose it. If the team's still intact for the most part, I may give it one more go. We may give it one more go. Voice cracked a little bit there. I need some water after that commentary. Oh, that was filth. All things considered, considering... Oh, of course, they show Minor, the guy we actually traded, you know, they got from a trade down with us or a trade up with us. Yeah, Jalen Hurts was awful. That 50% completion percentage was boosted by us. It was like 16 for 35 or something, which is not even 50%. I know it's not too far off of, but you just can't win a Super Bowl when you're throwing 50%. Sanders wasn't great either. I mean... Jalen Hurts had a rushing touchdown. Sweet. Reagor was solid. For us, I mean, what did we didn't really give him many yards. Maybe like 40 at most. So it was mainly him. Of course, they signed Sweat. They're just putting it in our face, aren't they? And Jake Elliott, perfect kicking, so you can't blame him. Do they let me see the final highlight? They do. Of course, the clock went out. Goddard, hell of a hands. You know, I was about to say hands job, but of course, getting the ball off last. Look at Miles Sanders, by the way. Wouldn't even have had a chance if he didn't give a piece. What is just legendary block, whether or not you hit it. But if you hit it, that's one of the greatest blocks ever, probably. Really good effort by Hooker to just chase that down, obviously, which, you know, he is playing. I mean, you have Reagor there, but it's 50-50. I think the safety's going to Reagor, so I figure maybe I actually have it behind the linebacker, which we do. I mean, if he had better throw power, dude... If he had even 3 better throw power, I think he gets that down. And with Devontae's catching ability, I think he gets it. But unfortunately, just comes up short. Like I said, if the team's mainly intact, the overalls are okay, maybe we'll give it another go. But I just don't see how, if we couldn't do it last season, we couldn't do it this season, and we're about to lose some pretty key players, and a lot of players are going to just regress in general, how the hell we're going to do it. So maybe some free agents are there, but if there's no... You know, if there's no guaranteed reason to do it, I'm just not going to, right? I'm not going to do it in the season. As Jalen Hurts would probably get the deal. A 5-year 167 is fair. He's happy, obviously. Slay isn't worth the money. He's decent zone coverage, could play safety, but we have Poyer for one more year. These guys you would just let go. So we're going to go to week 1 of the free agency period, or the off season. We have $56 million to work with, so we do have money. If there's someone there that can actually improve us, maybe we can work with that. Obviously, Kelsey's gone. Oh, damn. Lane Johnson's gone too. So center and right tackle are vastly worse, even though you do have potential. Oh, we don't even have a tackle in general. Receivers are fine. All that's fine. Defensively, Slay's obviously gone, but you have Whitworth to play the number 2. Poyer obviously dropped. So unless there's a really decent corner and maybe a lineman or two, I think we may just call it there. Just be happy with the fact that the Eagles are just dominant team. They just can't get the job done. So Gilmore could be the number 2. Maybe you just pay him to get it going. I mean, I'm liking it. I mean, there's some pretty decent players here. I think we may have to give it another year. Well, if they accept. I'm going to give them some decent offers, but if they don't accept, then there's no point. So we're going to pay Gilmore, and we are going to be paying Tyron, and we're just going to see if we can just make one final magical year. You have the money for it. Why wouldn't you? It's only 1-year deals anyways. Can I give them a little bit more? 1 year 18? That's good. 1 year 18. completely fair. 2-year, yeah, it's fair. We were going to pay Lane anyways, so I'd be willing to pay more than that because Lane was making like 20 a year, so whatever gets Tyron on the team, I suppose. 104. I mean, that puts us in the number 1 spot, but not by a whole lot. I mean, this is the last year anyway, so that's a really good contract. If he doesn't accept that, that's ridiculous. And honestly, at this point, I'm just going to give him a 20. Just take the whole damn thing. I could probably just give him the whole damn guarantee. If they don't accept these deals, it's a sign to just not do it. But yeah, obviously this is a little bit sloppy from us, but those are the 2 main positions. Those are the 2 positions that are going to put us over the top, I think. So if we don't get them or we do get them, I think that's really the best way to try and capitalize on this roster's talent. We get them both. All right, we're giving it one more go, even though we have like no draft picks, really. All right, for the final draft, we obviously don't have that many draft picks as we did put a lot into last year, and it was obviously worth it in the end. We have a 1st round, a 3rd round, a 6th, and a 7th. There are needs on the team, but none that are actual year, this year needs. So you'd be drafting someone for the future, and realistically, the best kind of position, I would say, or the most important position would probably be a free safety, but at the end of the day, none of the guys that we're going to be losing outside of maybe a wide receiver or a corner would really be that big of a need. And obviously you can see here we don't have a cornerback need. Fletcher Cox would be gone. You got to save some money somewhere. One of these guys obviously works out, but the question is, do you take a guy in the 1st round? The best option would probably be this Michael Robinson guy, but do you really need him? He's not really a 1st rounder. Tony Blake probably works as a 1st round talent as well. I mean, there's some choices here, but I think no matter what, we're going to be trading to the middle of the 2nd round, maybe even late 2nd round. Even though we're not doing another year, I want to make this as realistic as possible. A team with low draft capital and a lot to draft for the future, obviously not necessarily this season, maybe want to wait to pan out, see what you can get, would probably be looking for depth rather than, actually using their little bit of picks to grab a few players. They'd probably want to extend that as much as possible and turn that into multiple picks. I know we'll never see it, but the Packers are making a compelling argument here. Even Detroit is looking okay. But I think, as of right now, the Jets are the front runners on all these trades. I know there's some, kind of decent-looking ones, like with the Colts, 107. Actually, the Colts probably is the better pick. 45, 107. So, yeah, looks like the Colts are going to be winning this trade. So we moved on to 43. We get 107 and 113 in the process, and they get a bus. It's a bit of a yikes, but let's try to trade down again. Once again, lots of talent here, but not the biggest of needs. The Bears are the front runners now on this trade. 60 and 92. You're getting a 7th round pick if you go with the Ravens, so screw that. I'm going to take the Bears trade. So we moved on to 58. We get 90. And they get a running back. I think that guy might have actually been on my list. Was he? I have no idea. No, I don't think he was. This is the running back. There's some really good players here. It is what it is. I'm going to move down to 26. And really, realistically, hopefully our center is there. That's really the only guy that I absolutely want to get. You can see another safety here, but he's 23, so meh. Not really interested. But Keegan McBride, early 1st talent, early 3rd grade projection. Looks like a stud. And, I mean, as far as Madden is concerned, that's obviously a stud pick. Our next pick is a late 4th, so in theory they should be there at 26, which of course would be a DT. Don't technically need a replacement for Cox, as we already have some guys on the list, but at the end of the day, those guys, even one of those, maybe even 2 of those, could actually need contracts themselves. Orlando Isaac looks like a can't miss. We're going to take him, and definitely lower than I would have thought, but obviously usable. And I was going to take the tight end with this pick, but then I realized that he's actually 24 years old. Not a bad-looking player, but absolute best upside as he's a superstar out the gate. We need to replace Goddard, but Goddard's 29. This guy's like already almost there. It's not worth it. But we have this KJ Powell guy, or Poe, as I would assume his name is. Looks really solid. Could be a replacement for one of the wide receivers we have in the future. And he is a hidden development trait player, 72 overall. Absolute win there. So we did obviously do a pretty good job of extending the draft, but I'm going to be honest, we didn't really land, outside of maybe that wide receiver, really didn't land anyone that's going to change the roster that much or save us in the future necessarily. So, it is what it is. Josh Terry, late 6th. Go to the early 5th. Go and grab him. We moved down like 12 spots and gained a 7th round pick. Nice. It's a little bit of a reach, but this guy actually does look like he has a lot of potential. We're going to take him. Josh Terry, 71 overall normal. And, I mean, you look at him compared to some of our other first-round/second-round safeties we drafted in this rebuild, and he compares to him, so gotta love that. We need a fullback for the future, so Clay Van Dyke is our guy, 70 overall normal. Don't have to pay the guy we have, if we even have him on the roster still. And then this 7th-round pick will likely be a trade done. So we landed one hidden KJ Poe. The other guys don't matter because, I mean, it's a toss-up. We took the best potential guys. If they, the other ones had hidden, there's just unlucky RNG. And a superstar dev wide receiver that won't even be a starter. Love it. But I suppose you have that option in the future. Devonta Smith, I think, needs a contract. Jalen Reagor, I think, may have already gotten a contract. So, kind of wish I could get rid of Reagor here, but, we can't, right? Right? Yeah, we can't. So, good number 3 for the future, I suppose. But, yeah, we didn't draft anyone that would have been a starter this year. But with Gilmore and Tyron Smith, you got to think that we're one of the favorites, at least to make it back to the Super Bowl for a 3rd straight year. All right, here's the squad. We kind of already looked at it, but obviously 89 overall quarterback, 90 running back, 91 wide receiver, 98 wide receiver Devonte Smith, number 7 in the entire league, looking like an absolute beast. O-line's obviously pretty decent. Tight end's decent enough. Middle linebacker Barnes is solid. Where does that rank him as a linebacker? Actually, 94 overall. The 4th best in the entire league, which is insane. What about Gilmore? I don't know if our corner sliders are too high. 8th, maybe a little high, but that's pretty fair. Where is Allen rank? Probably top 10, right? Number 5. Fletcher Cox has got to be a top 5 as well. Number 8. Okay, fair enough. What about someone like Ronnie Harrison, anyways? 9th at 88. That's pretty fair. You look at Madden 22's ratings this year, and that would be probably like 11 or 12. So some of our ratings are a little bit too high. Some aren't. I mean, I'm okay with it. It's also probably a little late in the Madden 21 cycle to be thinking about changes to the XP sliders. Oh, we finally got him right. Oh, Madden 22's out. So here's the re-signings. Obviously, Fletcher Cox is not a guy that we re-signed. Gilmore, unlikely. Allen, you have to re-sign. So how much do we have? We have about 100, a little bit over 100 mil to work with. And we do have some names to re-sign, obviously, but we seem to be able to afford the majority of these. So 7-year deal worth, you might as well give it to him. You might as well do I do one of those? Nah, I'm going to give him 100K. That's not true. 100 mil on the nose. Khalil Allen, how well is he actually playing? I think he's played pretty well over the years, right? 7.5, 10, 8, 6.5 already. So, I mean, he's worth at least a 5-year. So let's give him a 5-year, 91.6. Devonta Smith obviously deserves a contract. I'm not going to go any higher than 5 years because he'd be 31. So 5-year, 120. It's kind of where the wide receiver contracts are looking in real life, especially with the salary cap going to be jumping to the moon next year, it would appear. With people actually being able to go to games and obviously the extra game/playoff games. So obviously you should see an increase there as well. Dallas Goedert, the money's just too good not to re-sign him, right? Like you just have to. A 4-year 30, even at 29, is totally worth it for him. Maybe you re-sign some of the other guys, but I think we're fine with those names. Ryan Franklin, you can't really beat his price either. So we'll do a 5-year, I guess. So 45 mil to work with. We have our quarterback paid, our wide receivers paid. We have pretty much everyone paid. I think we broke the game, honestly. I think we win. I think whether we win a Super Bowl or not, we've won Madden. Like, yeah, you have to replace your cornerback 2 and your DT 1, but, I mean, we can afford it. We have like 40 mil to work with, it appears, right? Like, seems like we need new safety, but, whatever. DT number 2, I don't really even like the guy, to be honest. All right, the playoffs, are we going to be in them? We are. Okay, I was about to say are not, but we are 11-5. Heck of a game. I have checked. It's the actual playoffs now, pal. Okay, sure, man. We actually win the division at 11-5. Not bad. Jalen, really? That's 17th best, those passing yards. Looks like he finally is going to be superstar, though, which is nice. Rushing was great. This seems to be our year. Jalen Reagor could be superstar. Devontae's already an X factor. Goddard's all right. Holloman, Poe. So, I mean, the number 3 wide receiver really didn't get involved too much. Blocking, really good. Tyron Smith locked that left tackle spot down, and he looks to be a huge piece to what could be a Super Bowl puzzle. Really good job by Khalil Allen. Obviously, fell down a little bit, fell apart a little bit, but still really talented. Blackwell, not bad. He's getting there. Fletcher Cox, obviously, as always, good. Leverett as a backup got some numbers, which is surprising. Gilmore, 4 picks. The guys we added definitely seem to have played their part and tremendously well, as Jalen Hurts was number 5 on the quarterback list, which actually puts him at number 1 on the NFC list for Player of the Year, best quarterback in general, and that is the only other award. But no matter what happens, whether we lose right here, we go to the Super Bowl and lose again, or we win it all, whatever it is, this is the final season, so let's see if they can make it count. A 95 overall team, one of the highest realistic rebuild ratings we've had, and I will say, ironically enough, ooh, nice snow game, the XP sliders are some of the lowest I've ever had. So, I mean, we've done a good job. Obviously, the money situation, we solved that, we settled that, and it all ended up working out in the long run, whether we win the Super Bowl or not. Yes, something's got to give if you lose back-to-back Super Bowls. Like, you're the best team in the league. You just can't get over the hump unless you lose to the, if the team that beats you is the same team twice, then I guess you're not. But, losing 2 Super Bowls in a row is better than winning one and then not winning another, in the sense that you're more consistent, I guess. I don't know how to... It's weird, right? But obviously, going on to the divisional round, very weird for me. I think that's fair to say, right? Like, if you lose back-to-back Super Bowls, as long as it's not by, like, a ton, and it's a different opponent, you're kind of the best team, right? Like, I don't. It's weird, but it's not wrong, right? When would you say, if it's not, the team that beat you the first time gets to the championship at least, then they're still the best technically? Or would you say just the winner is the best every time? I don't know. I know you're thinking, well, they beat them, so obviously the best. And you know what I mean. It's a deeper thought than that. Regardless, 95 overall to their 88 overall. A division rivalry matchup. Obviously, this means more than it normally would for both teams. And obviously, even more so is that Terence Smith left his team to join the rival Eagles to potentially be one of the hugest, maybe the biggest part of the offseason additions. As, 3 sacks from the left tackle spot is really good for Sim. Like, that's insane. We see Mailata give up 20. What's his name? Landon Dickerson, who's playing well at right tackle, give up 12. I will say this is a very close matchup. We look like the better squad, but we are failing to score every time, specifically touchdowns, as the game is now tied up at 24 all. Teams driving down really well, and they finish with a touchdown. I don't know how you tie that up. Too damn good, and we're on to the championship round against God knows who. Of course, Dak Prescott couldn't do much as this defense is lighting it up, but obviously Zeke does his best with almost a 200-yard performance with 2 touchdowns. Crazy numbers. Miles Sanders wasn't even that bad. It's just when you compare him to Zeke, he looks like trash. And then kicking, like we said before, really good postseason kicking, but last game we did miss one. Obviously, it's the snow and wind. I don't really blame him too much, but overall, still really good kicking in the postseason. Championship round, probably the Packers. Yep, there they are. The Packers, they're 90 overall. They're still a really damn good team, but we're a 95 overall. Can we do it? Can we get back to the Super Bowl for 3 straight years in Lambeau Field looking nice at night? I'm going to be honest. 95% of teams look sick at night. I just love nighttime. I just love the nighttime. I spend the majority of my day awake at dark, kind of. Not really. It's about even, actually. Never mind. But it's about even, but I like the night more, okay? I just like the night. I may be Batman. I wish. I'm not. I'm just a freak. 14-all, almost the fourth quarter. Packers not giving up very easily here, and they look like they have the advantage. No, they don't. As we have the ball, please score, and we do, up 1 point. They're now up by 7. This is not looking good. I think we've lost it all. Maybe not. The defense clutching up. You've got to be joking me. Are they saying field goal? I would never. 4th and 13. It really does beg the question of, like, how does, what's that guy's face? What's his name? Matt LaFleur live with himself at night, knowing that he went for the field goal instead of going for the, it all. I will say there's, circumstances. What's the word? I'm not even going to try it. Circumstances that did affect that a little bit, but still. I will say, though, I'm not really liking this. We got to go to Reagor. And Reagor gets it. Nice. I thought for a second that ball was short. Let's see if the team can get the touchdown as we basically walked them in there. But the Packers and their offense have the chance to walk off and win it. And they're going to say they run out of time. I'm not the guy that, I'm not the gatekeeper of time here, right? A safety for the win. No shot. Okay, here's the thing. They should have won. Unless they missed the field goal, which we will check. But if they didn't miss a field goal, which I do not believe they did, they probably should have won. But for being unlucky's sake, I'm just going to go out and say we deserve it. Screw it. Whatever. We're on to the Super Bowl. Damn it. And it is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know what the hell that was. Jalen Hurts does not go to Superstar. Reagor, of course, does, though, making this receiving group easily the best in the league, especially with Poe, the backup, ready to take a spot as well. Spin cycle. Watch you probably. Let me guess. Spin cycle is athletic. No higher than 79 spin. 83. Fair enough, but unrealistic. Give him jukebox if you're going to do a juke, a spinny, jukey thingy. As far as dev-ups go, we did not get one. This Thompson guy, really under the radar guy, though. 86 overall, really talented. Has some pretty decent seasons under the belt. Just not getting the dev-up, but obviously insane nonetheless. Words are coming out weirdly. I'm just hoping for a Super Bowl win. We didn't technically cheat, but we also didn't make it fair because the Packers probably should have won that game. They ran out of time when they were literally controlling the clock for the game-winning field goal or just the touchdown at that rate. They were so close, they almost just scored a touchdown. But the Eagles' last chance. 3 straight Super Bowl trips. Can they at least win one? A 33% win rate isn't the greatest thing in the world, but it's better than not winning one, as they are now up 3 at the second half start. Gotta admit, Jacksonville looks better, but we somehow find ourselves with a lead. The defense got to be playing a big part in that. 28 all, rushing pretty well here, and then that's why you run the ball, because Jalen Hurts chokes, throws a pick, tied up 31 all, but Jacksonville gets a chance with it. And just like many rebuilds in the past, we find ourselves in a near impossible win situation. And, you kind of have to let this bounce, and it does work out for the best. What a disaster. How are I guess it is this team constantly just giving up the best opportunity to win. I don't understand. Multiple times. So realistically, you want Reagor on the left, because maybe you have a chance to throw that slant in there, and then Devonte could get open deep. And you do have it. A lot more than just that, as Reagor's actually going to get all the way to the 46. Not a bad little play on the run as well. Well, kind of rolled out to extend the play a little bit, but I'm not going to throw that. I can't. We need it. We need Devonte on that. He's got the inside leverage, and he just gets straight up picked off by Andre Cisco. Devontae's just too small. It's all about animations, and his body just isn't built for it. Went for the aggressive, didn't work. That ball, I have to admit, was in the air for a month. I don't know if throw power helped or hurt that. Did have potential throw under the sack. There was pressure there. Really wish the safety would have bit down, but he didn't. He wasn't... he's open, but maybe we didn't need to throw it jump ball status. If we throw the bullet in there, maybe he gets it, but honestly, with the way Cisco played, I just think Jalen Hurts is too damn weak for this situation. Regardless, gotta be the weirdest, technically worst way to finish a rebuild ever, as we lose 3 straight Super Bowls, dude. You've got to be joking me. 3 straight. It just seems like we have the talent, but when it's all said and done, nobody can step up to the plate on offense. Nobody can. There's just no name that comes up. And I will say the defense did suck tremendous ass. The amount is insurmountable. 38 points allowed. I know the Jaguars have a really solid team. They take a little bit to develop, but they have all the pieces there to develop. That's why they kind of win on these updated rosters. The Super Bowl year 3, and then they're in the conversation quite a bit beyond that. But overall, that is just awful, awful defense. What were the performances? So 38 points, 28 points. Where was the other one? 24. That's not crazy bad, but it could have been better. We built what would probably be by far the best team I would assume, right? 88, 88, 85. So our rating, our sliders are probably a little high, but you can see there are some teams. So overall, the league is kind of fair. It's just they're a little bit higher than EA's ratings. We do have the best team by far, 93 overall after the drop in overall, but overall still a very high overall squad, better than all the other teams. So we just couldn't do it. I don't know, just didn't happen. But even though it would be absolutely heartbreaking to see, if my team made it to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, I'd consider it a win. It's so harsh. I don't know if we'll ever see that, but man, it's something. I don't know how you feel, honestly. You got to think one of these are going to win it, right? But I guess not. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, I'm going to try to get that off the screen. That flash on the bottom, I thought I was going to have a seizure and die. But if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, Pkr Plays, for non-Madden content. If I actually ever get to making non-Madden content, it seems like I've been lacking a little bit there. Of course, if you have any suggestions for rebuilds in the future, specifically a team, I think we've pretty much got every single team down, though. Let me know in the comment section below. But I think for the rest of this Madden 21 cycle, because Madden 22 is actually really close. It's like 3 weeks away, a little bit less than that. I think we'll be doing challenge rebuilds. So, there's going to be a fantasy draft rebuild that I'm going to probably work on soon enough. And some other rebuild maybe, but I think we're pretty much done with the regular realistic stuff. Maybe we'll do a couple more speed rebuilds, but nothing too realistic or major or / serious. Anyways, though, it really does mean a ton to me that you guys still watch. It actually is insane. And yeah, I appreciate it a ton. We should have Rams awards and stats. I know I usually say stats and awards tomorrow, and maybe a ratings video, something to do with the ratings. We'll see. Anyways, though, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!